to the cloud. Hello, hello, beautiful woman. Today I have with me the beautiful Sarah Sparks. She is from Create the Spark and one of the authors in Sacred Medicine, Mystical Practices for Ecstatic Living, Chapter 5. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And thank you so much for asking me to be part of this book. It has went above and beyond anything that I ever thought. And I had said this to someone, a client who was just going to write her first chapter in a collaborative book. And I wrote a book on my own. Not a great experience. I was like, I'm never writing again. And then
never never.
But it was a tough experience doing it all on your own and then collaborating and then having the experts and Laura publish. I mean, just it has been such a great experience. And then you adding in the sisterhood, I can't say enough good things. So thank you.
Well, I am so honored that you said not just yes, but hell yes. And your chapter is brilliant. Chapter number 5, Amplify Your Inner Wisdom, Manifest Your Soulmate. What an awesome title that is. And it's so delicious. And it's going to help so many people that are searching for the right relationship. Yeah. And before we talk, I have questions for you.
Okay, yeah,
but
sure.
I want to read the quote that you have at the beginning of your title, right under your byline. I love it so much. Whatever you desire, no matter what it is, will eventually come to you. I love that so much. It's so expansive.
It is.
And not only is it expansive, it is so true.
It is. Spirit gave that to me in like January 17th, 2017. And Facebook reminded me that this brilliant woman posted it like 4 years ago on January 17th. And I was like, she's awesome. Where did she come? It was me. But like, I was like, oh my God. And Spirit gave me this whole quote and this whole write-up. And I totally forgot that I even wrote it. And so I created a whole program and everything just from that quote. And you know, when things come together, like the book or whatever you do, and it all just like the puzzle pieces all just start coming together. Mm-hmm. And so that's where that quote is from. Like Spirit told me it 4 years ago and it all wrapped back around. And I'm like, I have to include this because it's true in so many different ways.
And it goes perfectly with your chapter. So let's get into that a little bit. And I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, sure.
But what I want to share with whoever's listening in today and tomorrow and the next day is, how does one go about manifesting their soulmate? And for so many people that I have met and that I have served and coached, I see that people are manifesting all day long, every day, but they often are bringing into their lives exactly what they don't want. Mm-hmm. Right? So we're trying to undo that and draw to people the divine man, right? Or the divine woman that comes into life with great purpose. So do you want to elaborate on that? I know you are with who you manifested.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I could say about, there's so many things coming to mind. The thing that brings me a lot of emotion is that I learned who I didn't want to be with because I'd given up on myself. And if there's ever a life lesson that I could ever share, is that love does not mean giving up who you are for another. Mm. And it doesn't have to come with any explanation or excuses or expectations. It's just, I'm here and this is what I want and this is who I am. And then it's just being that. For me, manifesting who I wanted was around writing out. And that's part of the exercise that I share, part of the tool. It's just really getting clear, but not like he or she has certain eye color and lip shape and all the, right, like the physical things, which is great. I didn't really have something that's physical except for to be a little bit taller than me. And the spirit gave me the dream, which I share about in the chapter. Spirit gave me the vision of what this person looked like, only from the backside. That's all I knew. But it came from then within me and allowed my soul to come forward and allowed my soul to lead. And sometimes it comes at the most unexpected times. I mean, I literally, which I didn't include in the story, was I was married when I met Craig, the man from my dream. I had so much judgment around people who would ever meet somebody while they're married or whatnot. And of course, spirit's gonna be like, we're gonna blast through that judgment, girlfriend. Like,
It's the way it works.
I know. And I was at the airport when I was going on this getaway because my friend was just like, you are being a huge bee and we need to do something about this. So I went on vacation with her and I was standing at the airport talking to my ex-husband, which I didn't put in the story or anything like that. And he wasn't my ex-husband at the time, he was my husband. And I heard this, I asked him to go on vacation with us. I'm sharing all this because it's part of the manifestation. And so I asked him to go with, he says, no, he has to work. He'd only have to take one day off. And I was standing at the airport and I was talking to him saying, peace out, love ya, see you later. And I was on the phone and I heard this. And I was like, oh, are you walking in between buildings or what's that noise? He says, oh, I took the day off. I'm at a farm sale with my brother. Right then and there, I made the decision. I was done. I didn't know what that exactly looked like, but I was like, I'm done. I'm done being last on your list. I'm done being treated this way. It's not that he was abusive or anything. It was just, he had his own agenda and his own life. And I felt like I needed to be number one in his life. I felt like I deserved to be treated like a queen. And that was not what I was like wanting, I was ever treated. So right then and there, I made the decision. And so I feel like part of the manifestation is making a decision.
Absolutely.
And once you decide on that matter, it will be established for you. So that dream that I had 10 years prior to that airport decision was the vision. And I knew what it is, how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to be respected and treated and what I want to experience with this soulmate partner. But I hadn't made the decision that I was done being treated in a different way. And so once I made that decision, 3 days later, Craig came walking into my life and I felt him. I may have put it in the story, but I was walking past him to go to the bathroom and he's just regular dude. I think I put this in the book.
You did.
He was just a regular dude, cargo shorts, t-shirt, baseball cap, glasses, flip-flops. I say that all because like he wasn't like, whoa, look at that man standing across the way. Like, oh my God. No, it was literally like, oh, that's a dude on a bar stool. And like I walked past him and it was like, like it was like breathtaking. Like something within me like pulled. And years later as in like a couple months ago, I was laying in bed with him and I was like, how did you know? Or when did you know that I was this woman for you? And he had been through his own stuff and he'd been through divorce and girlfriends and all the things. And he's like, am I supposed to tell you the manly version or am I supposed to tell you like the truth? I was like, oh, well, I kind of want the truth. And he's like, I felt you. Like something within me pulled. And it was like, this woman feels like home. And that's exactly what the dream was about. I actually like the first title of this was going to be like finding your way home, but home was too aloof for everyone. I like, Laura helps you to be like, be clear, not clever. Like, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. And it's true. And it helps the reader know exactly what they're getting into when they dive into your chapter. And she's so good at that. I call her a word wizard.
Oh, she is. She is.
And I love in your chapter, like listening to you hear your story and what was not being provided to you in this marriage and what you wanted to call forward into this manifested Mr. Sparks. I love that some of the questions in your medicine that you take people through really had you go through that. Those things that you were not receiving became the medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even we travel together.
Yeah.
Right. Like the things that were not on level with you before. Right. Yeah. And I love these questions. I think they're beautiful. And I think they help people get really clear as to who they are calling for. Because I think so often people just say, I want a man. And then the universe goes, great, here he is. Have fun with that.
The universe is always saying, here you go. Your wishes might command.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's not the one.
Yeah. And then the next time you make it, it's like the genie, right? We rub the pot and we're like, okay, I'd like a man that has a pulse or whatever it may be. And then taking us through this question, you're helping people actually get a little bit more clear of, yes, how do I want to be treated? Yeah. And or I think most of us learn that by going through relationships that were not right. You learn, I think it's easier to say what you don't want before we say, yes, this is what I need.
And I also add in there that I made up this list before I got married to my first husband. And I sat down with him and I was like, this is what I want in a man. This is what I want in a husband. I don't think you're him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, I can be that person. Mm. And so if you're in a relationship, not you, but whomever is listening and is like, no, I can make it work. I can contortion myself to make sure. No, don't be me. don't be the ex-husband. Like, no, stop, and even like, I knew what my mornings, like what I wanted my mornings to look like, but I still settled for, he works different shifts than and I just go and do my own thing. I'm a strong, independent woman. And that's what I'm going to pride myself on. I still am, but I still
it looks different though now.
Yeah, but I still like getting up and having breakfast together and sitting for a little bit. And now I have the luxury of creating my own morning. And when people are like, I want to meet at 8, I'm like, we'll see you at 10 because I got a conversation to have with the love of my life.
Right. So beautiful. It's so important. What would you like our listeners to know? What do you want to leave them with for people who are in maybe not the best place in their current relationship or those who are hungry for love?
Yeah, it's a very front part of my story, the first chapter. And if you aren't in the relationship that you want or aren't in the part of your life that you want, whatever that may look like, the message that came so clear to me, I want to share with you. And it's very simple. You're meant for more. Whatever that means to you, figure it out. Mm-hmm. Don't just stay at the surface. Go deep and know with every fiber of your being, you're meant for more.
Thank you so much for that. And from her lips to your heart, you're meant for more. Thank you so much, Sarah, for being here with me, for being in Sacred Medicine, or for being in my tribe. And I will pop her information in the comments of the video so you can reach out and be a part of her community. And thank you guys so much for listening in.
Yes, thank you.